Here's another great story from Better.tv.
Outdoor weddings are a dream come true for so many couples, but when you're designing and figuring out the decor, it's tough to try to figure out exactly where to focus the attention on, especially since a lot of photos will be taken and you want all the eyes to be drawn to a certain area. So we went straight to the expert. This is Amy Morella. She's an LA-based celebrity florist, and she's here to give us some tips to make the wedding day picture perfect, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Flowers can be expensive and they can be a little confusing to some people. So how do you decide exactly where to focus the flowers?
Usually for ceremony, we want to try and focus the ceremonial flowers where you're going to take your vows, just because that's a great backdrop. You're already in a naturally beautiful setting, so you want to make sure that your flowers are focused during your ceremony.
So many people try to spread it out amongst the entire
Which
wedding.
is impossible because you really can't cover all the beautiful landscape. So if you really focus in one area, and I think where your vows are is where all the pictures are, it's where everyone's looking. I think it's the most important spot.
Right?
Yeah, and then you keep it tailored down to one area. You're not trying to branch out too far.
All right, so let's talk about the ceremonial area arrangements too. Look at Central Park. You've got plenty of flowers around here.
Absolutely.
How do you decide what to use?
Well, generally, when you're in a beautiful backdrop already, you want to kind of stick with one type of flower might be good, or one color maybe might be good, so that would it pop when you're actually standing up there and your guests have something really to focus on and you're not competing with your background.
Exactly, and not flowing right back into it again, right?
Yeah.
Now, what about the aisle? You see so many couples putting rose petals up and down the sides, but what are the trends that you're seeing?
For the aisle, definitely if you're in an outdoor area and you've got a beautiful grassy aisle, you don't want to actually try and cover up the aisle, because an aisle runner is not going to be good on grass because you're just going to get tripped up when you're walking down the
Right.
aisle. So really, the best thing to do is bring a little bit of color to your aisle, whether it's white or pink or green or yellow, it doesn't really matter, but sprinkling your aisle with rose petals, whether it's completely covering the whole aisle or lining the sides of the aisle and leaving the green grass in the center, or crisscrossing your rose petals.
Oh, I never
Some
thought
kind of design, and that actually becomes your aisle decor then. And then you can kind of really put your focus at your ceremony again, where your vows are.
And that shows your personality too.
Definitely.
People don't realize that, right?
Some people want a really clean aisle, clean line petals, literally none in the middle,
Yeah.
and then other people are like, cover
Fill
my
it up.
aisle. Yeah.
Now, what about the other details that you guys include at weddings too, to kind of bring your guests into the whole mix?
So oftentimes for our guests, we might put a beautiful rose cone on the chair and fill it with rose petals, so at the end of the ceremony, they can actually toss the petals at the couple as they walk back down the aisle, and there's a little cute note inside of it. You know, it says, "Please toss these petals with a smile as Jen and Scott walk down the aisle."
Oh, that's cute.
So
I
it
like
tells
that.
your guests what to do, because some guests actually look at it and go, "I don't know what to do with this."
Or you start
So-
seeing a bunch of rose petals that are laid out there
Yeah.
too early, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then another option is you could go a little bit further and have beautiful cones hanging with a floral arrangement coming out of it, hanging on the ends of the chairs, just for some added decor.
Right. And do a lot of these ideas come from your guests, or do you create these ideas and
We
then
kind of combination with both of them. They might say something simple, and then we just try and take it another step further, because we're always trying to take it another step further.
just in case? And then
Yeah.
you also mentioned one last thing to me also with your initials on it, little stones, right?
Yes, you can. Sometimes in an outdoor ceremony, it might be a little bit windy or something like that, and you might have programs on the chair or something. You might place a little stone on top of the programs to hold things down, because you always do have to think about the outdoor weather effects on your ceremony.
Right. The environment can wreak havoc on your wedding.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Amy. We appreciate it. And if people want to get more tips or more information, you can always go to Amy's website. It's hiddengardenflowers.com. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thanks for having me.